Chapter 25. Affirmations. Master your mind. Don't let your mind master you. Every thought we think has the potential to leave an imprint on our unconscious. Self-talk and the continuous stream of messages we internalize from other people translate to inner dialogue, which leaves imprints on our unconscious. Anything that programs our unconscious mind in such a way is an affirmation. An affirmation is a statement which leaves an imprint on our unconscious mind. The accumulation of imprints on our unconscious mind forms the infrastructure of our belief system. Beliefs arise from internalizing information that we consider to be true. It is important to realize, however, that truth is subjective and transient. What is true for one person may be false for another, and what you held to be true yesterday may be deemed as false today. As a consequence, our belief system needs to be frequently reevaluated to see if it supports our current view of life. Outdated and maladaptive beliefs are often responsible for dysfunction. The repetitious bombardment of negativity on our minds often leads to imprints that promote low self-esteem and pessimism. When internalized, negative messages fuse together and give birth to a subpersonality, which I refer to as the internal saboteur, a confluence of thoughts and feelings intent on self-sabotage. However, as speech was the medium through which we originally negatively programmed ourselves, we can reverse engineer the process by using self-talk to reprogram our mind. In this way, we become better aligned with our true nature. An affirmation is a positive phrase that is spoken repeatedly until it becomes firmly embedded in our unconscious mind. This practice not only installs new ways of thinking, but it actually changes the structure and functioning of our brain. As the structure of our brain changes, life-enhancing chemicals are released in our body, which give rise to feelings of well-being. So, our whole disposition changes for the better. Positive affirmations can be used to challenge and undermine negative beliefs, supplanting them with life-enhancing ones. It is a form of brainwashing, in which you wash away the mental and emotional debris that constricts your life, leaving only positive energy, which propels you forward. Though affirmations rely on repetition to break through the conscious mind and become embedded in our unconscious, the process can be speeded up by utilizing our imagination as a powerful amplifier. For example, if we affirm, "I am attracting my perfect romantic partner," imagine her, see the color of her eyes, imagine the aroma of her perfume, feel the texture of her skin. The more real this mental construct, the greater it will impact your unconscious. Before we move on to specific affirmations, I want to make one last important point. It is crucial that your desire is affirmed using positive terminology. For example, "I am healthy," rather than "I don't want to be sick." The unconscious mind does not process negatives, so affirming "I don't want to be sick" translates to "I want to be sick." I don't want to be sick. Affirmation 1. I allow every situation to unfold from the wisdom and understanding of my indwelling divinity. This affirmation embodies the Taoist concept of Wu Wei, as you breathe without doing and grow without trying. Wu Wei is the art of effortless action. The aim of Wu Wei is to achieve a state of perfect equilibrium and obtain an infallible form of power. By surrendering the will of your ego to a power within that is capable of spontaneous right action in every instance, your path of least resistance will be revealed and you will attain peace, fulfillment, and joy. Next time you are faced with a testing situation, allow the wise witness within to come forth and dominate your response. Stay centered in your higher essence. Surrender your egoic will to the will of your higher self and remain open to direction. Affirmation 2. Today, I will use my imagination to create the future I desire. Imagine having the capacity to make a model of anything you wished for in life. And after it was completed, it became real. Like Geppetto the toy maker, you can make a Pinocchio that becomes real. Wouldn't it be wonderful to sculpt your own reality in such a way? Wouldn't it be a crime if you had such ability but never utilized it? Well, guess what? You do have such a talent. Your imagination, or image in action, as I call it, is the midwife that births ideas from the formless embryo of your mind into the physical domain. Remember, imagination is the preview of life's forthcoming attractions. Whatever you can perceive in your mind, you can achieve in reality. The brain doesn't know the difference between actuality and imagination. If you repeatedly practice some new chords on a guitar, the part of your brain responsible for processing that function will grow and restructure itself to assimilate the new information. If you simply imagine practicing the new chords, your brain will expand and restructure itself in exactly the same way. The imagination is the psychic workshop in which we mold our future. Investing time each day to sit down, relax, and imagine what you want in life is an excellent way of constructing your ideal life. The subconscious is a servo mechanism which automatically steers towards its target. Paint your target vividly on the canvas of your imagination, and your unconscious will move mountains to attain it. A beautiful derivative of this affirmation comes from a very dear friend of mine. I am filled with divine spirit and its creative energy. Eloquency. Some things to remember when using image in action, or imagination. Make your mental picture as vivid as possible and turn up the brightness and contrast. If the image is still, convert it into a movie. Add sounds to the scene and turn the volume up. Rather than being a passive observer and watching the scene, immerse yourself in it. Experience it firsthand, utilizing all your sense modalities. Bring it to life. Feel your emotions building as the scene becomes more pronounced. Remember, emotions are the power source of your desire. Imagine concentric circles of energy pulsating away from you, propagating your request out into the universal network of intelligence. Let go and have complete faith that the universe will respond. Be patient. Time may elapse before your desire manifests. Be flexible. The universe is much wiser than any individual. Sometimes the results we receive are not precisely what we ask for, but they will most certainly be for our highest good. Spend at least 20 minutes per day imagining your perfect future. Make it fun and enjoy the process. Be very aware of the power of the practice and rest in the certainty that your highest path will be revealed. Affirmation 3. Today, I will nurture the child within. This affirmation is aimed at breaking the ingrained self-punishment mechanisms that sustain low self-esteem. Self-condemnation often manifests subtly in the form of corrosive inner dialogue. Inadvertently, we find ourselves colluding with the internal saboteurs. The following points are designed to heighten your awareness of the subtle manifestations of the sobriety saboteurs. Do you find yourself apologizing frequently for things that are not your fault? If so, you are condemning the inner child and reinforcing patterns of negativity that were thrust upon him in his formative years. You need to reverse this process. By regularly affirming your intention to nurture the child within, you will eradicate the automated patterns of response that feed low self-worth. Next time you find yourself apologizing for nothing or trying to please someone who treats you with contempt, Let an alarm bell sound off in your mind. Visualize your inner child and tell him how much you love him. As you practice this technique, the neural pathways that promote low self-worth will disband and make way for life-affirming ones. Do you find it hard to say no? Are you constantly people-pleasing? If you find yourself unwilling, not unable to say no, or constantly seeking people's approval, then you are still identifying with the negative messages of childhood conditioning. To counteract this negative programming, you must consciously stop seeking people's approval and learn to say no. Both these pursuits are symptoms of a person who has very little self-respect. Each morning, visualize your inner child and tell them how much you love, value, and appreciate them. Tell them that they deserve the very best in life, and you are going to ensure that they get it. Assure them that they will be treated with the greatest courtesy and respect. Embrace them and feel their warmth. Look into their eyes and watch their radiant smile as they internalize the praise they deserve. Do you constantly allow work to take priority over pleasure and play? Your inner child needs to play. Play is the best antidote for stress, and stress is one of the biggest killers in our society today. In one of his poems, William Wordsworth wrote, "Let child be the father of man." This translates to, "Let the soul child lead the way." Within us, we have two inner children, the adaptive or conditioned child, and the free or soul child. The free child is spontaneous, energetic, curious, loving, and uninhibited. It's the part of us that thrives on play and pleasure. I prefer to call this the soul child, as it's very close to its spiritual roots. Secondly, we have the programmed or adaptive child, which is a highly conditioned part of our psyche. This subpersonality develops as we learn to change our feelings and behavior in response to the world around us. When operating from the level of the conditioned child, we often revert to complying, sulking, aggression, aloofness, and avoidance in reaction to external demands. When the adaptive child cries out for attention, it is often a sign that we need to interject some fun back into our life. We can do this by immersing ourselves in the essence of our soul child and bathing in the energy of playfulness. Life is not a game to win. It's a game to play. Affirmation 4. Today, I will stay on purpose. The backbone of our sobriety and our evolution as human beings revolves around our ability to stay on purpose. The one common variable evident amongst the most successful, happy, and contented people on our planet is purpose. Each of us is endowed with a unique gift, a purpose designed to enhance the collective consciousness of our planet. It doesn't have to be a major project. It may be a simple activity carried out with much passion and love. But it will be your unique contribution to this world. People who bestow their unique gift onto the world radiate happiness. People who are on purpose are so happy that the need to escape never arises. Therefore, alcohol is redundant. At times, however, people become consumed by activities that detract from their purpose and lose the way. When this occurs, discontentment and sterility set in very quickly. If left unattended, they can spiral out of control and lead to a need to escape. So, by affirming to stay on purpose each morning, we take out an insurance policy to protect us from regressing to destructive ways. Affirmation 5. Today, I will honor the higher purpose of every person I encounter. When we interact with others at the egoic level, we are apt to succumb to conflict, jealousy, and resentment, all of which are threats to our sobriety. The ego feeds off the misfortunes and perceived character defects of others. It is also highly competitive and possessive. These negative traits are based on our sense of separateness, an illusion created by the limitation of our senses. At our most primordial level, we are all part of a unified whole. To alleviate tension, jealousy, conflict, and possessiveness, and promote harmony, recognize the indwelling divinity in all you encounter. Mentally whisper to everyone you meet the Sanskrit word Namaste, which means the spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Ultimately, the spirit in me is the spirit in you. We are all one. Whenever you greet a person in this way, you reinforce an unspoken bond. Any residual disdain you are carrying for them will dissolve as you connect with their true essence. Practice this technique regularly, and you will be astounded at the results. Your relationships will flourish. Exercise. Connecting with the indwelling divinity of all you come in contact with. Sit in a comfortable, quiet place, somewhere you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and follow the rhythm and flow of your breath. Continue this process for about 5 minutes until you are in a trance-like state. Now, in a heightened state of awareness, recognize that your body is in a constant state of flux. Although it gives the appearance of non-change, it is constantly changing, just like a flowing stream whose water is replenished in every given moment. Your body is renewing itself continuously. Imagine as you exhale, you breathe out parts of yourself that will shortly become parts of other people. Your body and the bodies of all other species inhabiting our planet are part of a unified whole. If any thoughts arise, observe them, just like fish that leap and break the mirror surface of a still pond. Watch your thoughts leap from your unconscious before dissolving back into the depths of your mind. Be aware of their transient nature. As any feelings arise, detach from the thoughts associated with them and concentrate solely on the sensation in your body. Notice how awareness alone disperses the feeling. Watch the feeling dissipate. Observe it return to the great void from where it came, the nothingness that contains everything. Again, be aware of its transience. Your body, your thoughts, and your emotions are all transient, all impermanent. Now, start to become aware of that part of you that is experiencing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations. That part of you that is listening to the sounds around you. Notice there is a part of you that is simply observing everything. Become aware of this indwelling presence. Turn your attention inwardly and feel this powerful presence. Feel its essence penetrating every part of your being. Allow your awareness to dissolve into this pure beingness, this pure presence. Bathe in its light, the light of pure consciousness. Feel it illume every cell, bone, and tissue of your body. In this moment, know you are a child of the universe. Now, imagine that you are coming into contact with other people. Turn up the brightness and contrast in your mind so that the images are vivid. Notice the same luminosity that inspires your being also illumes these people. The quintessential nature of your being is also the very essence of every other living entity you come in contact with. God is the single actor playing innumerable roles. Every individual is God, the self of the world. Every life is a role in which the mind of God is absorbed. By the act of self-abandonment, God has become all beings. From this point forth, you will see the godly nature in everyone you encounter, a luminescence that transcends their character defects and shortcomings. Silently, you will whisper to them, Namaste. The spirit in me honors the spirit in you. For the same divine principle which animates you also animates them. Every other living entity is your universal brother or sister. Know this implicitly. In actuality, there is no other. There is only divinity. In your own time, call your awareness back behind the windows of your eyes so that you are centered once again within your body. Feel the gently pull of gravity on your shoulders. Feel your feet firmly against the floor and ground yourself. And when you are ready, open your eyes and familiarize yourself with your surroundings once again. Affirmation 6. Silence sometimes has the loudest voice. Today, I will spend some time in silence. Constant chattering and compulsive talking often gives rise to an overact mind, a mind that has difficulty being at rest. Do you lie awake at night, unable to switch your thoughts off? Between each of the 60,000 thoughts we experience on a daily basis, there is a window of silence, a domain of pure knowledge and inspiration. It is here that the creative force of the universe operates. Inspirational ideas come leaping out of the still waters of your mind, much like fish breaking the mirror surface of a pond. To bathe in this silent sanctuary is to experience utter bliss. Be still. Stillness reveals the secrets of eternity. Lao Tzu. In the words of entrepreneur and philosopher William Penn, true silence is the rest of the mind. It is to the spirit what sleep is to the body, nourishment and refreshment. Make time for silence and coalesce with the God within. Affirmation 7. I am creating a new network of supportive relationships on a daily basis. When embarking on a life of sobriety and radical transformation, it is necessary to let go of the friends you no longer resonate with. Friends who keep you anchored to your old way of life. We need to surround ourselves with supportive people, genuine friends who have our best interest at heart. Affirming to create such a network sends out an impulse of intent that will draw these people to you. Affirmation 8. Today I will embrace the field of infinite possibilities. This affirmation is about breaking your agreement with reality and changing your ideas of what is possible. Everything is possible. It's just your beliefs that convince you otherwise. Michelangelo once said, "The greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark." Your indwelling divinity is the same creative intelligence that gave rise to everything in existence, including all the geniuses of the world. With that intelligence intrinsic to your nature, how could anything be outside your grasp? When we embrace our true essence, impossibilities vanish and give rise to unlimited potential, immeasurable growth, and boundless opportunities. Guidelines for constructing affirmations. 1. An affirmation should be concise. For example, I am worthy of love. 2. Use present tense. For example, I am in good health. Past and future are psychological concepts that never arrive. We only ever have the now. An affirmation stated in future tense is always going to be something which will happen, rather than something that has happened. Consequently, it will always remain just outside of your grasp. 3. Avoid negative terminology. Instead of saying, I am no longer nervous, say, I am confident. Your unconscious mind does not process negatives, therefore, I am not ill translates to, I am ill. 4. Start with a direct declaration of positive change. For example, my earnings have increased. If you find it difficult believing this statement, dilute it slightly by saying, I am open to receiving more money. 5. Belief in your affirmation and the willingness to change are of the utmost importance. Although 100% belief is desirable, however, it is not necessary. The willingness to orient your mind in the direction of your desire is all that is needed initially.